Okay. I had to restart that because my phone was acting weird. But yeah, I don't know if I read this very many times, but it was still a good story. Well, I liked all of these stories, so so let me know if anybody else has read these, or like if maybe this is your like favorite story. Everybody has a different story and that they like, and obviously if they grew up with this and that face is perfect, it's a totally totally meme face. It's perfect. And then yeah, we're back to normal. Even though he's getting his toe like bit very weirdly. But these books, like, they're all just so good, and like the artwork is just classic, the stories are classic. It's just the signature yellow. Like what is there not to like? They're all just so great. And then the old men, they all look like wizards, which is awesome. They all should be wizards if they're not, but who knows? But wherever Sala Salu is, I mean, maybe I gotta go there. Maybe that could be a cool place. All right, we've only got like a few books left, so we're nearing an end. Oh, and this one has a little hole in it, so don't mind that. But other than that, these are all still in really good shape. So I can't be mad at a tiny little hole, even though that obviously affects the value. But the King's Stilts, this was another one that I really liked the artwork, especially. And let me get in here. So this, is more of a black and white and like subtle red. All the little, obviously there's more red on different pages, but like just those little tiny red details. They get me every time. Because it catches your eye. It looks so great. And the subtlety of it. It just makes it look so interesting. And his stilts, of course, are very bright red. It's like in this kingdom, all you could own was black and white or red. But probably not too much red if you weren't royalty. But there's his stilts. I don't know if I'm giving away too much of these like stories and like every page, if you don't want to see that, if that's like too spoilery. But look away or skip ahead or anything else. But I just want to try and show like as much detail in all like the pictures as I can, because it's just every single page is just such a good page, I just love, yeah. It's like even like orangish reddish. Some people might call that orange, but well, on the front it looks more orangish red, but in the book it looks more red. I don't know if that's just like the best color he could come up with, maybe, provided the mediums that he was using. I'm not sure exactly what he was using, but these were obviously different times, so let's see. see here. In this, okay, I didn't show the front yet. McElligot's pool. I always say it wrong. McElligot's. Okay. I always would just say Mick whatever whenever I was reading it. I never really paid attention to the name because I could just make up whatever name in my head. But the first one was black and white, and now there's like colors. And it's just he doesn't overdo it with the colors, which is perfect. See, and then it's just black and white. It's like watching like black and white shows, and then you get a nice, like, beautiful little, like, it looks like watercolor. Yeah, I just love that it's like every other one. You know, you get a little color here. Oh, and you get that guy, which is interesting enough. I like his little cheeks. They're pretty adorable. Yeah, color, and then black and white. And then color, and then black and white. I thought this was like the coolest thing. Like, just looking at the pictures, like, not even really caring about the story sometimes. But I would always still read the stories. But it's been a while since I've read all of these. But yeah, just the originality is just so great. With all these characters, and like, that's a freaking lobster, and then, you know, black and white, and then you get the fish that's all colors, and a little bit of like vegetation, you know, the shapes, those like iconic shapes and steps and stuff. I just love that it just goes back and forth. Like, that's just so pretty. See, if you do both, then you get the best of both worlds, honestly. This, I believe, was Dr. Seuss's like first like published book that he ever wrote. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But you never know what it is. So it's just like this kid, you know, he's talking about this crazy thing that he saw, but then I don't think you see it. Or, oh, maybe you do. Yeah, like I said, it's obviously been a while since I read this. But for some reason I thought there was like something that you couldn't even see, or that they didn't even show you. But of course they show you all this crazy stuff. And to think that he saw it all on Mulberry Street. It must be a pretty boring street on a typical day. But this particular day, he was going crazy. And it all started with a guy on a cart. Okay, we've got 2 more books. And this is another one that has multiple stories. It's I Can Lick 30 Tigers Today, with a tiny little cat in the hat, which is adorable. I don't know if it's his child or his clone, but it's super cute. There he is. But for some reason, he's got blue gloves. The cat in that just has white gloves. Those are definitely blue. And I love the stripes on the tigers. I love them. Because it's so iconic. And, you know, like I said before about, like, the moose, like, you can tell, like, what animal it is, but it doesn't look exactly like that animal. Like, it's literally just his own animals, his own Dr. Seuss creatures. And I mean, there is obviously other authors and everything that do that, but these are just a whole new thing that obviously started a lot of inspiration for a lot of different things. And I don't think anybody can replicate this necessarily. Here's the other stories. I know I'm just kind of like skipping more because I didn't know how much I was going to show, but now this is becoming a very long video, but I don't know if anybody cares anyway. And by the way, here is not Dr. Seuss, the Cat in the Hat's like family here. So we definitely found another cat with a hat, potentially. I don't know if they were wearing a hat, but yeah. But this story too, it seems like it was like on a different medium than like a typical just like drawing. Because I feel like most of the time he would just use like a pen or ink, you know. And this is more like markerish or watercolors. Or maybe he's using something else that I don't know. Maybe he's using... Yeah, it doesn't look like it could be like pastels or oil things, or, you know, any of that. It definitely looks like it's probably watercolor. That's my guess. But if you know, and I'm wrong, then let me know. Because I wouldn't be mad if you would let me know. Because then I would know. And I wouldn't have to just guess. Or I could have just done my own research. But I don't know if anywhere actually says. And I love that. But either way, it just, you can still tell what it is, and, you know, the characters and the colors and everything. It's still like the same but different, which I don't know if that still makes any sense. But I'm probably not making any sense, but that's okay. And this is the Lorax. This is the last one. I don't know if this is your favorite, so maybe I've saved the best for last. I don't know. Let me know which one you think is your favorite, because the Lorax is really good, but I don't think it's necessarily my favorite, but it is very good. And they have made a lot of like spin-offs, like the other movies, or I think, was there a show too that I maybe didn't see? I don't know if there was a show. I think it was just movies. But this is teaching such a good story too, because obviously we want to take care of this world. We don't want to be like the freaking depressed Onceler, you know, not having any trees, and he cut them all down. But I mean, do we pity him? I don't know. I honestly do not know. But he's a guy. I mean, he obviously regrets it now, but now it's a little too late. Don't you think? But see, these little bears were just having the times of their life. And even the fish, like, they just love swimming around. They love chilling. Then the Onceler just came, freaking chopped everything down. And there's the first Thneed. Everybody needs a Thneed, which is, yeah, I mean, like, this story still applies to today, present times, and probably future times too, because history repeats itself. But we need a Lorax in our life. We need to take care of the world. And I know that sounds really, like, probably preachy and just annoying, like hippie-ish, but whatever. This is the one planet that we have, and that we just happen to live on and find ourselves existing on. So we need to have a little Lorax inside of us to help take care of all this. All the bears and all the trees. And who cares about that guy? Who cares about a freaking Thneed? We don't need that Thneed. Get that Thneed out of here. But he's just calling everybody up, you know. He's got to get his family out there to chop every single last tree down, apparently. But if he would have just come up with a better idea that maybe he could make a feed out of recycled materials, then maybe it'd be a little bit better. But all this gunk, you know, that the factories produce, and they're just letting it all go everywhere. They don't care. My point exactly. The fish, they gotta leave. They gotta dip. The Lorax has to take everybody out of there because there ain't nothing left. The last tree. And then they're all like, all right, well. They're like, well, we're out of here, you know. We already did everything that we could. So the Lorax had to leave too, because it was all nasty there. But we don't want that happening to our world, honestly. Get another little seed and just plant it, and as long as we have that little Lorax inside of us, we can just do a little bit better every day. A little thing at a time, and that should be good. So, I didn't know how long this series was going to be. It was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But we got through all of these books. Look at this. All of these. So, which one is your favorite? Do you want a special video for one of these or multiple? Or we could just go through like a couple in one video, or we could do story time. I'm running the books into other things right now, but they fit perfectly on my shelf, so I love that. But I will be doing other series of books. I'll do like book reviews, or I'll do just some suggestions of books that I have read, or maybe that I want to read, and maybe I want to know more about it before I read it. We'll see. So, well, maybe I'll give you a few sneak previews of some things that I want to do with a couple things. This is Fight Club 2, all the comics. I got them from a friend. And I still haven't read them all yet, but I'm dying to read them, and I wanted to read the first Fight Club graphic novel first, because I don't think I have that one. No, I don't believe so. But I haven't got the graphic novel, but I got the book by Chuck Palahniuk. I love Fight Club. I love that book. I love the movie. That's a fantastic movie, honestly. The movie was great. Yeah, the book was great. So I'm sure, obviously, the graphic novel is great. And just flipping through these second or sequel graphic novels, whatever, series, they just look great. So, this is another one by Chuck Palahniuk. This is like probably my favorite author. Haunted. It's I don't know, not very long, but it's a lot to get through, and it's multiple stories. I don't want to give away too much, but there's different characters in this book, and they all are writers, so each of them kind of write their own section. About what it kind of varies. It's about kind of what's going on and in the book, and like I said, I don't want to give away too much, but if you read this one, this is a really good one. This one, Running with Scissors, Augustin Burroughs. I love this movie. I saw the movie. I love this book, but I saw the movie and it was a pretty good movie. I don't always like to read books that have a movie with it too. But this one I didn't know had a movie with it because I read it when I was in high school, and one of my teachers had this book, so I definitely had to borrow it because it seemed very interesting. If you've read it, then you know what I'm talking about, or if you've seen the movie, then it's basically the same thing. So you know basically what's going on, but the book always has more details. It always has more to say, and you always kind of get more into the characters, I feel like, into the story too. But this is a very good one. Yeah, I liked the movie, I guess, but it wasn't my favorite. Just because I feel like it was really funny at like some parts, like, but I just feel like it could have been done better. But there is some good actors in it, um and they did a pretty good job of like replicating all the crazy stuff that happens in this book. Um but it's really easy to read, so I just and I've read multiple books by him, by Augustin Burroughs. He writes a lot of memoirs or autobiographies. So he just had a crazy life, and he's got a lot of crazy stories to tell. um I don't know, I'll give like one more. um Actually, let me grab this other book. Okay, so this author, Danielle Vega, she is a very good writer. I think she's more newer to the writing world, or to the book world, or whatever you want to call it. But this series, The Merciless, I actually have all of them right now. This is The Merciless 1. This is The Merciless 2. And I just like the shininess. And then this one's really cool. Oh, you can't even see it. Like, in the right light, it like shines. It's got more of a like actual like holographic part to it that makes it really shiny. But the third one, I have not read the third one yet completely. I started it and then I started reading something else, because that's what I do. I always start books and then I just start reading something else, because usually I just can't wait for books. I can't wait till the end, but I definitely need to read the third one. But I might need to reread the second one. Probably not. They're pretty easy to get into, and they kind of still recap you on what's going on. But that's a very good series. And Survive the Night, I have that one by her too. Oh crap! And then there's actually The Merciless 4. Which obviously I have not read this one either. So yeah, here's a 3. This is the 4th, and then this is Survive the Night. That was a really good book too, and I have that one too. But anyway, those are all really good, and I really could go on and on and on to talk about books. But and I have another series that I really, really, really want to talk about, but I'm only on the second book, I believe. Second. Yes, it must be the second book. Because I think there's 4 in total, but I won't say what series it is right now, because I'll just make another video about it. But that one, I only read the first one when I was in, like, I don't know, junior high when I first read it. And I really loved the story, and I was like, oh my god, I need them to make more of this story. I need to know more of what happens. I need to know what's going on in these imaginary people's lives, basically. But I didn't know that they made more of the series. I didn't know it was a series. I thought it was just one book, and then I could never find it again. So I was like, well, there goes my dreams. But I found it, or well, somebody else found it. My cousin found it, and then she gave me a couple of the books as a gift for either my birthday or Christmas or something. But I was so happy because I did not know until however many years later. I'm freaking in my 20s now, but it's been this long and I didn't know that there was more books. But so now I'm reading them, which I'm very glad. And I reread the first one, and I've read the first book multiple times. So it's very good. I'll make another video about it. I won't say what it is right now because I don't want to just spoil it right away. It'll be its own thing because it's very good, and it's a very good author. And I haven't read anything else by this author anyway, except for that one book, and then the ones that I'll be reading in the series. So I don't know how many other books that they've made, if it's a lot, if it's not a lot, but their name isn't really out there. So I don't know if they must still be making more books too. Probably writing, doing some sort of project, but I'll have to do some research and see what the up-to-date situation is. But anyway, if you want to know more about these Dr. Seuss books, like if you want me to go more in depth about them, let me know. I'll probably make other videos before I make those videos, just so it's not just all Dr. Seuss. But yeah, kind of a little sneak peek into my other books. If you know anything about books, or if you don't know anything about books, that's totally fine. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about them. So that'll be in probably the next video, unless I come up with something else first, but it'll probably be another book video, and there'll be a lot more book videos coming up. And if you're not aware, I am an artist, I guess. I'm just a painter. I paint random stuff. So in another future video, I'll have to go upstairs and show you my loft and maybe some paintings that I'm working on. Some things that I've finished, or some things that I'm about to sell, or whatever. And I'll leave a link in whatever next video that I make. And that'll have all my art stuff. I only have like one art page basically on Facebook, and I don't really use Facebook that much, so it might be changing soon, but we'll get there when we get there, okay? So I hope you have a great day or a great night, whatever time it is there. It's kind of technically nighttime here because it gets dark so soon in the day. So, I mean, it's not too late, but it probably looks really dark outside. But this room is pretty lit. Not pretty lit, but it's pretty bright. So hopefully you can't really tell. I try and film during the day, my videos, but it doesn't always work out that way. And since, yeah, it gets dark earlier and I'm at work, so that's just a no-go. But either way, it shouldn't make that big of a difference anyway. My videos are not that good anyway, but anyway, leave a like, leave a comment, do what you gotta do, and I'll see ya in the next video. And whatever that next video will be, it'll probably be a good one, and it'll probably be better than this one. So, see ya, have a good day, have a good night. Bye.